And we are backstage right now. I know this YouTube will be kicking in pretty quick. We've got about 20 seconds to go, and we will be live on River West Radio. And there we go. Got my sound settings. Glad I started it early, or I would have been hearing my echo. Okay, so about 5 seconds.
You do like a countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Ability MKE Now. My name is Sue Roskoff. Ability MKE Now is a show all about integration, bringing people with disabilities and people that don't have a disability together, enjoying life here in the Milwaukee area. We all have different abilities, and here at Ability MKE Now, we dive into this topic of diverse abilities. The concept of disability hits a wide range of possibilities. We could be talking about physical or mental disabilities, the deaf and hard of hearing community, blindness, chronic pain, mental health diagnosis, goals of substance use reduction, and the list goes on. We all have our own experience with disability, whether it's our own, with people we know, or with people we encounter in our daily lives. Here at Ability MKE Now, we break down the barriers and celebrate the ability in all of us. I am exceptionally excited to have I'm trying to think how long I've known Shalaine. It's been a little under a year, I think. I know I've had the pleasure of getting to know her a bit and following her a little bit on all the wonderful things she has going on. So I am so grateful to have Shalaine Stebner joining us and getting to share a bit about topics that, some of us find a little difficult to have conversations about. The whole concept of mental health sometimes is a bit daunting, but there are so many good things to be talking about relating to that. And also, I'll give you a little sneak peek that she does some amazing things with music as well. So, Shalaine, so glad you're here. Come on in and say hi and tell us a bit more.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for having me, Sue. I so appreciate this. So my name is Shalaine Stebner. I'm not from Milwaukee, but I love Milwaukee.
Yay!
Yay, Milwaukee. I'm a singer-songwriter. I'm also a hairdresser. I'm a mom. I'm a wife. What else can I add into my like mixture bowl of what I do? But through music, my most favorite thing to talk about is definitely mental health. I do think that everybody struggles at some point, and I don't know what's going on in the air right now, but there's quite a few people that are struggling just in this present time. But I love talking about it because there's so many times when people don't talk about it. So that's kind of my goal when when I go playing places. I think that it is absolutely my due diligence and almost my duty when you're given a huge platform, such as being on stage or having conversations with somebody as fabulous as you. I do think that it is really important to talk about it, just because it's actually a lot more mainstream than people like to think.
I would totally agree. I think it's one of those topics that people hesitate to talk about because I think people fear being judged or thought of differently at all. And because mental health is something that is not necessarily visible. It's not like, if I'm missing an arm that you can see it. It's something, it's something where we all struggle inside different ways all the time. All the time. And how we
Absolutely.
deal with it is kind of that piece of, what do? We don't always know what to do, but we that's why talking about it really makes a difference.
Hmm. Yeah, I totally agree. And it's interesting. Everybody has different coping mechanisms, and everybody has different things that work for them. And I think that whether you choose to use medication or whether you choose to do other things like go to the gym or get into nature or whatever you do in whatever combination, I think that also is something that is definitely taboo to talk about as well, because like people like I go to the gym a lot. I love CrossFit, But I don't love CrossFit because I'm super strong. I love CrossFit because it helps my mind, right? And so I'm not there to get super skinny because I'm not super skinny. I'm not there to get super skinny. I'm not there for to meet people. I mean, I have met some really great friends, but I'm literally there because my mental health needs it. And you can tell if I haven't gone for a while, my husband is like, "So when you go to the gym next?"
Nudge, nudge,
It's
hint,
like,
hint.
right, that's right. I forgot about that.
When you find something though that works and is I want to use the word therapeutic. I mean, if it helps you,
Oh,
that is a very important piece.
absolutely, absolutely. And therapy just in general can be so many different things, right? It doesn't have to be going and sitting on a couch and talking to somebody, you know. It can be climbing a mountain, that can be therapy, or writing a song, that's also therapy. Or another thing that I like to do that everybody thinks I'm crazy for doing is cold plunges.
Oh,
I love it. I love cold plunges so much, and I can sit in there for a very extended amount of time. But I like in the first 30 seconds that you're in there, your mind is like, get out. What are you doing? Why are we doing this? But once you hit the threshold of about a minute and your nervous system kind of like settles down and is like, okay, wait a minute, like we're not getting out, so we're just gonna like give in to this. I can usually be in there for about 10 minutes. And just it's really cool because it's probably one of the only times that my mind is quiet because I'm so focused on how cold I am. But it is really, you know, therapy can be in all different kinds of forms. And, you know, it doesn't have to be going and sitting on a couch and talking to somebody. It can be literally anything.
and personally, one thing that makes a difference for me, it's going to sound maybe weird, but water skiing. We're on that water ski team. We are committed that we are there every Tuesday night, Thursday night, all summer long. And that, honest to goodness, I don't know what I would do if I didn't have that, because that's my little chunk of time of everything else goes away. I am here. I am focused on what I'm doing. It's adrenaline rush. It's all, you're with people that are all working towards the same fun, same things, wanting to get better, do whatever you can to improve yourself. Not every night's great. There's you fall, you hit the ski, that kind of hurts. There's all sorts of things that happen that's not necessarily your best thing. But that's okay. That's all part
Yeah.
of it. And honestly, the rest of the world is just gone for those couple hours, and I'm just here. And
Absolutely. I actually, when I did one with your husband a little while ago, and he was bragging your guys' water skiing stuff up like crazy. And I've never water skied before in my life, but I know. But so we had actually had a conversation about how maybe we should do like a live music event at your next water skiing championships, right?
that would be so cool.
Because then we're adding so many different elements to something so fun. And then
Hmm.
maybe I can get up on the water skis.
Oh, you got to come visit us. We can make that happen.
Right?
And
Absolutely.
and for us, actually, the water skiing, that's been our whole gateway of how we've ended up here, literally, with all the things we do with the disability community and these topics, and that this show even exists. It actually started with water skiing and getting people out on skis that they not necessarily stand up skiing, but sit ski. It's a whole nother animal that people don't know exists. They don't know that's an option. And we were just talking. We got our dates are this close to being set for this summer. We've got some, I think, oh gosh, 4 different days down in Burlington and one in Pewaukee. There's definitely opportunities this summer to participate in this awesome sport that we all love so much. And
That is so
we
cool.
love to share the passion because
Yeah.
that's part of what it's all about, right?
I love that. I love that. The town that I live in, we do a lot of rodeoing. I personally don't do any rodeoing, but there's a lot of rodeoing in the town that I live in. But it's funny that like every place has their own little like stuff and things that like when something is going on, like the whole entire community rallies around and shows up with their coolers full of whatever and
Exactly. Come prepared, ready to have fun.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that is therapeutic in itself.
It
Community is
absolutely
so it's
is.
very important. It is absolutely.
Yeah, that whole concept of community and being able to connect and it whatever even if it's for a short time or if it's a long time, those connections and being with people, it's really important.
Mhm. The worst thing that you could do is, seclude yourself. I was talking to, I don't know if you know Chris Powers, but he has a podcast called Coffee with Chris, and we were chatting about how somebody cares, right? And I think that that's such an important message. So I from it I wrote a song called Somebody Cares. And the first verse is like, tell me, when was the last time you felt the sun on your face or the wind blowing through the valleys, right? And there's so many times when we're in that slump or in that lull that we forget, when's the last time I actually went outside? When's the last time I sat in the sun? When's the last time I listened to the birds singing? When's the last time I said hi to anybody other than scrolling on Facebook, like actually really conversing, right? And so that, I think, is something so important, especially when you are deep into it. It's not like, don't go into a mall and greet everybody that you know, right? But
Right.
getting out somewhere, getting out just in general, can help so much. It can do so much for a person.
It absolutely can. So I do want to make sure we get a chance to talk more about your music as well. So you want to share a little bit there?
Yeah, yeah. So I started writing music in 2020 was kind of when I decided to do something with myself with music. I've always been musical. I think when I came out of the womb, I was singing, and I never ever really stopped. So, but it wasn't until 2020 when things got kind of crazy, and my husband ended up getting laid off from work, and then he kind of lost his sense of purpose. And so that's always very hard on men. And he hit a really 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 bad bout of depression. And times like that, like, I can't help. I can be there to support, but I can't fix it, right? And so I in my way of coping was I started to write songs. And so the first song that I wrote was a song to my son. It's called As Strong as Your Daddy. And I wrote it as if my husband had completed suicide. And I wrote it as a love song to my son about how you don't have to be strong. You don't have to pretend. You don't have to do anything. You are allowed to feel the feels. You're allowed to be sad. You're allowed to, cry. All of the things that society has said, like, men are not supposed to do this, right? And it's like, that's rubbish. Do it, right? If it's gonna help, if you need to do it, do it. And then so then it kind of snowballed from there. I kind of was like, I really like this. And I'd always wanted to record, but I never ever had anything that I wanted to record, because I don't want to pay to record somebody else's song. I wanted to record the songs that are in my heart. So then I started writing more and more, and we found a recording studio that was close to us that was very affordable. And so then I started recording with him, and then I've since started recording with a few other people, and I've done a few other things, and I've met so many amazing people. I go down to Atlanta for the International Singer-Songwriters Association, which is just this giant family reunion when you go down there. Like, it's so amazing. Everybody is so, it's not like, it is an award show, but it's not a competition, like, it's just everybody's just cheering and hoping that you win. It is probably one of the most fantastic organizations. And it's so nice that I think they have over 25,000 members worldwide, which is super cool. So you and then you network and you connect with so many other people, and then you get to do so many other things because you've met somebody here, and then they know somebody else here. And that's kind of how I got together with Big Records, and then through Big Records, that's how I got together with the Disability Channel, and then through the Disability Channel, now here we are with you, right? So it's kind of cool that, like, they're just like one choice and one decision has kind of snowballed into something absolutely amazing. I do think that, like, when I was 12, when I was like, I really want to be a singer. I think that if I would have told my 12-year-old self that I had to wait till I was 35 or whatever before I could, like, take it seriously, I probably would have cried a lot.
Mhm.
But at the same time, timing is so important, because I have my salon, which then also is my sponsor to help me get to places, right? But there's so many things that had to be set in place before you can do some of the things that are in your heart, and just because you're not doing the things that are in your heart right now doesn't mean you're not going to do them eventually. So yeah, so I got to do a bunch of cool stuff, write some songs with some cool people, and do some recordings, and now we actually have another release that's coming out right away, and then there'll be another one that's going to follow that, and it's been a crazy couple years. It has been crazy.
Absolutely love it. That's what you're going in the right direction, right? When it's all the
Yes.
pieces are falling into place. That's where
Yeah.
your gut's saying, yes, this is right. And
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. And it's quite interesting. I've decided, I kind of made a point that when my gut, when you get those little like butterflies, if somebody says like, hey, do you want to do this? And you get those little butterflies in your stomach, and you're like, ooh, I don't know if I want to do that. The moment that you get those butterflies, you say yes. Because that's your ego going like, ooh, we don't want to change, like, let's make this feel weird so we don't do this. But if you don't say yes, then nothing's going to change, right? So nothing's going to change if nothing changes. So you kind of have to like follow whatever, as I always say, like, as soon as you're scared, then you're doing the right thing.
you gotta keep life exciting, keep pushing
Yes.
forward. And because yeah, if you don't challenge yourself along the way, you know, I don't want to get bored. I don't want to just sit here and do the same thing over and over. There's too many cool things out in that world that I have not
Right?
got to do yet.
Could you imagine if you didn't get on those water skis?
Oh my gosh, how different would my life be today? Because it's
Right?
crazy when I think about how that's guided a lot of the things that we've done. And it's
Yeah.
just it's not because of skiing itself. It's all the people we've met along the way and what that has led, this person to this, to that. It is absolutely amazing when you follow that thin line of how those connections
Yeah.
happen, and you don't see it looking forward so much as you do looking back. It's like, wow,
Mhm.
that is an
Mhm.
interesting trail that we just walked, and we're here and trying to look forward to figure where's my next step. And
Mhm.
I I do want to get Marianne to come on in here and say hello to us as well. And Marianne, are you available? I know you've got some big things happening this coming weekend, right?
Yeah, well, aloha, Milwaukee. I'm Marianne Ambrose. I go by Marianne of Waikiki. It's my sign language name and my book author name, an Apple game developer. And I'm excited to share with you guys. Speaking of being on the water, this Saturday is World Water Day, and United Nations is out there with great speakers. And we've had some great speakers who we've met through the Unicorn Universe, such as Rajiv, who's in New York, who is part of the United Nations as a speaker as well. And but we partner with Leon McLaughlin out of Seattle, Washington, where he brings water units to schools, clinics, hospitals worldwide, and really focusing on the Hopi Navajo reservations in Arizona. And I want to share too, last July, I became an Awesome Grant Foundation Award winner. I received $1,000, and I gifted you, Sue, and Jay Stoyan of the Disability Channel, half of that to interview me last fall for several months with other guests such as Santa Papa John, who is our social media marketing influencer that has the book series and the coloring books and a sea turtle called The General of the New Earth Army. And I'm really excited to share that our fourth book is going to be launched this Saturday, Sue, and the world will be able to download the fourth book for climate change. Now, our first book is for ocean cleanup. Our second book is Rabbit Acts of Kindness. Let me back up. First book is Underwater Acts of Kindness. Our second book is Rabbit Acts of Kindness, No Bully, which features on mental health. And we're talking about mental health and learning sign language, just basic finger spelling communications to express ourselves and learn a new language so we don't get bored, Sue. So now you just brought something up. I'm going to hold you to learning the 26 letters of the alphabet. And anybody can go to YouTube to learn the ASL with the finger spelling characters. And the website is www.actsofkindnessseries.com. Also, our third book is Righteous Acts of Kindness. And this fourth book, Cool Acts of Kindness, is being uploaded. I'm so excited. It's a big project that's been happening for, gosh, over a decade. When I was in Hawaii and I met Lucy and the Perfect Wave, and they went into studio to record 3 different albums. And I was asking the universe too, what was my next purpose? And the universe said, you're writing a series of children's sign language books with puppets. And I'm like, what? Who, what, when, where, how, why? And it just kept channeling in. So the importance of these global topics that are happening, such as ocean cleanup of the plastic pollutions, which is affecting our mental health, not only with us and our marine life. And we dedicated the book to Boynton Slat. And I know we're going to roll over to really live video. So Sue, I'm excited too that we have 2 of the 4 book trailer videos now with the music, showing the YouTube channel, and showing the coloring books as well. So I work with a fiber graphics team out of Pakistan and India. And yeah, anybody can visit it on www.actsofkindnessseries.com. And all classroom teachers can receive copies of the books from Donors Choose. Now, I want to go back to that awesome foundation grant award. Half of that money then too, Leon was in Hawaii and he gifted the Hawaii School for the Deaf and Blind a water unit. And we gifted them in October because October was anti-bullying month. The second book, Rabbit Acts of Kindness, No Bully, featuring Harry, the hard of hearing rabbit. Again, when we roll over, you'll see the trailers, what I'm talking about. And we'll be uploading that also to www.actsofkindnessseries.com. And you can look on this on the YouTube channel that Sue's posted. So good work has been happening. The creativity comes and flows. And yes, I know being on water and living on a sailboat and, relocating. And I'm a pool girl now. It's ice cold, but it's warming up. I can't wait to get in it to change my thought process. And we found out too, we won the Minnesota School for the Deaf and Blind too, another $1,000. And Santa Papa John is going to help me get those books and coloring books. And I have t-shirts now on Shopify. And Leon and my deaf friend Scott just received them in the mail. They're beautiful. Leon's doing a photo shoot with Waterflow the Whale and the t-shirt on Friday. And he'll be joining us on Saturday, World Water Day. So Sue, I'm so proud of you because I heard you applied for Awesome Foundation grant on the water. Now, Shalaine, there's different grants there. They love to get $1,000 for projects, such as, I don't know what state you're in, but we can take a look. And if not, on the water concerts, all these amazing things. They love to gift the money and do that. So, what state are you in, by the way?
I'm actually in Alberta. I'm in Canada.
Oh, okay. Well, there is Canada,
Mhm.
and several different chapters up there too as well. But check it
Absolutely.
out. Yeah, we love to share it, and that's what we do here on Ability Now. And thank you so much, Sue, for having me here. Again, World Water Day is this Saturday. I'm giving a free download of this fourth book now. It's Cool Acts of Kindness for Climate Change, featuring Waterflow the Whale, who we find out is deaf. And it's a great story. And again, it supports the Hopi Navajo. Uh, we want to multiply the acts of kindness to get a water unit and the Acts of Kindness series books into every USA school. So good things are happening. And gosh, we've been networking too with more people that are speakers for United Nations, grant writers, Sue. Just amazing couple of in this last month of all the new people that we are meeting. So thank you again for having me here. And aloha, Milwaukee. Stay warm.
Awesome. So much good news. And yes, that free download is available on Amazon. And that is something that is for just the one day. World Water Day is March 22nd. And that's going to be a nice little perk. How cool is that? I love it.
Oh,
There's so many good things going on.
and
And I
one
love
little
all
other
the connection to water we've got here too.
exactly. And one other perk too, I did meet with Derek, another friend who is disabled. He's a tax writer. He's been amazing. So if people need help, and you're getting Social Security disability or anything like that as a small business owner, he's been amazing to help me all this money that we put into this Acts of Kindness series, now we're going to be writing it off. And the good news too, Sue, I just received them from Amazon that I got some royalties. And I believe that's to Jay Stoyan from being on the Disability Channel. So I'm very happy. It made my day today. So we'll see what the royalties will bring in. So again, thank you so much for having me share the story. Aloha.
Thank you so much, Marianne. And the whole idea of the finger spelling with ASL, I actually had a short story. I must have told you this at some point, but it's been a while since I've told. When I worked at UW Milwaukee lots of years ago, we had a custodian that was just the nicest guy, but he was deaf. He could not hear anything. It was something where I loved trying to interact, and he was great. He was patient. I actually printed out the 26 letters and what how to sign the letters. And so that's how we could communicate. I practiced. I was able to do a little bit. I wasn't good. I didn't do it enough to get real slick, and smooth, but he really appreciated that I tried, and we did the best we could, and that's all we can do is just do the best we can with what we have and make an effort to connect to people. Shalaine, that was what you were saying before about with the connections and how that makes such a difference. And I know for him and I both, it made us both feel really good because I'd say most of the people in our building, they didn't take that time to try, because it's an effort, right? It's speaking another language, but it's worth it.
Mhm.
Yeah, that just brings back some great memories with having that experience.
That's so neat. I think that like with that experience and making sure that you made him feel seen, and that's something that a lot of people forget is that no matter what you have going on, whether it's mental, physical, whatever you have going on, people just want to feel seen. They want to be heard. They want to know that they matter to somebody, right? And even if it's just like something so simple as like learning how to sign language, hi, so that they feel like connected, right? The connection just in general between people is so, 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 so important.
100% agree. And I know we're coming down to the last couple of minutes here. Shalaine, I just want to give you open floor here. If anything else that you want to share with us while we still have you.
Oh man, like I mean, everything comes rushing forward to my brain.
Sorry, I know.
Don't put me on the spot. What shall we talk about? We could talk about so many things. Probably one of my most favorite parts of my music career so far was I had done a recording with my dad. So my dad plays drums, and he has played drums in a band for as long as I can remember. And so we were going down to record in this like 100-year-old barn, and so I called my dad and I was like, "Hey, what are you doing this week?" And he's like, "Well, I'm working." I'm like, "Well, do you want to take it off and come and hang out with me, and we'll get a hotel room and have like father-daughter time." And I'm like, "And then also we can go record some music." So that I think is so special because now no matter what happens for the next like rest of my life and rest of my kids' lives and their kids and whatever, they will have something so cool that they can say like, "This was my mom and my grandpa," or "This was my grandma and my great grandpa," right? So I think that is so, 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 so special. And I do think that even though I'll never ask him to do it ever again, it was definitely probably one of the most special times in my career so far, that I can kind of join back with my dad. And when we did that recording, we recorded a song is called Silver and Gold. And if you have a moment, find that song and listen to it. And it's just about it's about grandpas. And so the tagline is, he had silver in his hair and gold in his heart. And it was probably one of my most favorite moments that I got to have with him because I wrote it about his dad, but seeing him become grandpa with my kids has also been so special. So
Amazing. I absolutely love that so much that you had that experience and that chance to do that, because how many of us get that kind of chance? That's Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. So people want to reach out and find out more information about you and what you're all doing. How would they do that?
Yep, you can go to my website, www.ShalaineStebner.com. So SHALAINESTEBNER.com. And that's where you can find pretty much everything about me that I put out in the world. And
Perfect.
any
Oh,
streaming platforms I'm on. I'm on pretty much everything except for TikTok. I don't understand TikTok.
I think you have to be 14 to understand it entirely. Or Santa. Santa Papa John is
Oh,
amazing
yeah.
on there.
Yes.
He's got the followers.
Is he secretly 14 years old?
You know, that is a great question. He's Santa. He's magical. It very well
Have
could
you
be.
seen him?
He's awesome. I can introduce you. I can definitely hook you guys up. Awesome. Well, this has been such a pleasure having you both on here. I cannot thank you enough being here, part of Ability MKE Now. So Shalaine and Marianne, you guys are the best, as always.